Every NFL era is special in its own right, but the 2000s, perhaps the most iconic of all time.
Picked off by Florence.
This is a clean hit.
During the 2000s, we witnessed the NFL tightening player safety rules on targeting hits to the head.
And Chancellor hits him helmet to helmet.
Middle screen to Adam. He got popped in the face. Oh my mouth.
We saw iconic Super Bowl upsets.
That's a great catch by David Tyree.
Unbreakable records, and the NFL going global with games in London starting in 2007.
We welcome you to historic Wembley Stadium in London, England.
Controversies, clutch plays, and the birth of new rivalries marked a decade that delivered some of the most unforgettable moments in football history. The 1999 NFL season ended with 31 teams, and the 2000s kicked off with the same number, as the Cleveland Browns had just returned to the league in 1999. But the decade brought massive shifts and a new media landscape, with the NFL Network launching in 2003. Instant replay was expanded, and the two-point conversion introduced in 1994 became a strategic weapon. The 2000 season saw the St. Louis Rams, fresh off their greatest show on turf Super Bowl win, dominate with Kurt Warner's precision passing and Marshall Faulk's all-purpose brilliance. Faulk won NFL MVP, rushing for 1,359 yards and adding 830 receiving yards, a dual-threat showcase. The Baltimore Ravens, led by Ray Lewis and a suffocating defense, won Super Bowl 35 over the New York Giants.
And the handoff to Montgomery, wrapped net from Ziegler in the pass, broken up by Ravens. Going back to the 35-yard line, jousting with Lyle West, running to the side, breaks a tackle of Dave Thomas, gets a block on the play.
Allowing just 152 total yards and a 34-7 run. See, the Baltimore Ravens built one of the most dominant defenses in NFL history, anchored by Tony Siragusa, Ray Lewis, and safety Rod Woodson, future Hall of Famers. Lewis earned NFL Defensive Player of the Year honors and became widely recognized for his intensity and leadership. The defense's toughness was on full display in a game against the Cincinnati Bengals, where running back Corey Dillon, in the prime of his career, was held to just 9 yards on 12 carries before leaving the game. Later that season, Dillon would set the single-game rushing record, underscoring the Ravens' exceptional performance. Baltimore's defense allowed only 10.3 points per game over the season. At one stretch, the team's offense failed to score a touchdown for 5 consecutive games, yet the defense remained strong enough to keep the team in playoff contention. Quarterback Trent Dilfer eventually took over the starting job and provided steady, if unspectacular, play. Rookie running back Jamal Lewis and veteran tight end Shannon Sharp became key contributors on offense. In the wild card round, the Ravens defeated the Denver Broncos 21-3. The following week, they faced the top-seeded Tennessee Titans. Although Dilfer completed just 5 passes, a 56-yard strike to Sharp helped set up a touchdown, and Ray Lewis secured the victory with a game-clinching interception returned for a touchdown.
Intercepted by Ray Lewis. His way. He's going to go for a touchdown.
In the AFC Championship game, Baltimore forced 5 turnovers against the Oakland Raiders to earn a spot in Super Bowl 35.
All the talk of Ray Lewis and the Baltimore Ravens. John Gruden just told me on the field that we will win this game.
Blitz gets Gannon back at the 21. Ray Lewis, Brian Billick, Trent Dilfer, and the Baltimore Ravens are headed to Tampa.
Meanwhile, the defending Super Bowl champion St. Louis Rams entered the postseason with a new head coach, Mike Martz.
Offense ever in football.
Following Dick Vermeil's retirement, the Rams continue to lead the league in offense, with running back Marshall Faulk winning NFL MVP after scoring 26 touchdowns in just
Marshall Faulk.
However, defensive struggles plagued the team. They fell to last in the league in total defense and were eliminated in the wild card round.
They're going to get it back with plenty of time left after the punt, which is fair. Caught at the 9-yard line and then fumbled at the 11, almost as if Hakeem Saints to Minnesota.
The two top teams in the NFC that season were the Minnesota Vikings and the New York Giants. The Vikings, led by first-year starter Dante Culpepper at quarterback, continue to field a high-powered offense. The Giants, on the other hand, leaned on a top-5 defense anchored by Michael Strahan and Jesse Armstead. On offense, quarterback Kerry Collins delivered one of the best performances of his career, supported by a productive backfield combo of Ron Dane and Tiki Barber, dubbed Thunder and Lightning.
Around the corner, it is a wild and raucous sellout crowd.
When the two teams met in the NFC Championship game, expectations were for a closely contested matchup. Instead, the Giants dominated. Collins threw 5 touchdown passes, and the Vikings were shut out in a surprising 41-0 result, an emphatic performance that sent New York to the Super Bowl with considerable momentum. Leading up to the Super Bowl, headlines were dominated by ongoing questions surrounding Ray Lewis's involvement in a murder incident that occurred 1 year earlier.
But it goes something like this. While Ray Lewis is being celebrated by millions, 2 men tragically and brutally died in Atlanta.
In January of 2000, after the Rams defeated the Titans in Super Bowl 34, police arrived at an Atlanta nightclub.
Ravens head coach Brian Billick worked to manage the media attention and maintain his team's focus.
He was the big brother. He was the one that would get in the interviews and take the hits for it.
Pundits and the experts are going to pick this apart and talk to me about some kiss-ass third down percentage or red zone. Hey, them all. Put that in NFL films. Bleep it any way you want.
Baltimore's defense held New York's offense to 0 points. The Giants' only touchdown. Ravens won 34-7, capping a dominant postseason in which the defense allowed just 16 points and forced 12 turnovers across 4 games. Following their Super Bowl triumph, the Ravens were selected to appear on the debut season of HBO's Hard Knocks, the NFL's first foray into reality television.
Pros and raw rookies alike have headed to Westminster, Maryland, and the Ravens training camp. It means hard work under the burning summer sun. Long days.
But I've got another one to go. I've still got a task ahead of me. And that's a lot of emotion to have to deal with.
Improve so you won't get cut on the next one.
Evident, throughout camp, all the guys that have gone away, that people leave here.
This is a final week. You either gonna make it or you're not.
This is the real deal. The bullets fly no more.
Something I can't even explain to somebody. It's just
of what you've come through. Even though it's a beginning of sorts for the season, it's a graduation ceremony per se. Take comfort, take a great deal of pride that they have graduated from the School of Hard Knocks, and that the future is very bright for them.
1, 2, 3. Okay, perfect. Thanks, guys.
The 2001 NFL season changed everything. Following the events of September 11th, Commissioner Paul Tagliabue suspended all games for a week. Smoke from the World Trade Center was still visible from Giants Stadium. When play resumed, Patriots guard Joe Andruzzi, whose brothers were first responders, ran onto the field carrying 2 American flags before a game against the Jets.
After the tragic events of September 11th, the Jets returned to the field for an emotional game in New England.
That same day, Jets linebacker Mo Lewis delivered a hit that would change.
Looks like they're going to rule that a fumble,
He knocked Patriots quarterback Drew Bledsoe out of the game and into the hospital. New England had just come off a 5-11 season, and Bledsoe, recently given the largest contract in NFL history, was supposed to lead the turnaround. Instead, 6th-round pick Tom Brady took over. Brady had already impressed coach Bill Belichick behind the scenes. In his first start, he helped dismantle the Colts. When Bledsoe was cleared to return, Belichick stuck with Brady, who went 11-3 as a starter, earned a Pro Bowl nod, and led the Patriots to the postseason. Elsewhere, the Colts floundered under Jim Mora, whose playoffs rant became legendary.
Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
The Giants regressed, but Michael Strahan broke the single-season sack record and earned Defensive Player of the Year honors. December brought controversy in Cleveland. The Browns, fighting for a playoff berth, lost a game to the Jaguars after referees overturned a 4th down call 2 plays later.
And the clock stops with 48 seconds. Wonder if that was going to be one of those fake spikes. I thought he was going to do that.
Furious fans pelted the field with debris, and the officials temporarily ended the game, only for the league to call in and demand it be finished. A chaotic, embarrassing scene. Meanwhile, the Rams returned to form. The greatest show on turf added defensive coordinator Lovie Smith and future Hall of Famer Aeneas Williams to bolster the league's worst defense from a year earlier.
Despite playing just 1 year of college football at Southern University, the third-round pick of the Cardinals led all NFL rookies in interceptions.
Spectacular interception in the end zone by Aeneas Williams.
The result? A 14-2 record, the #1 offense, and a vastly improved defense. Kurt Warner won his second MVP, while Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce each topped 1,000 receiving yards. In the playoffs, the Rams blew out Green Bay as Aeneas Williams intercepted Brett Favre twice for touchdowns.
Williams, touchdown!
The NFC Championship proved tougher. Philadelphia, led by Donovan McNabb and a ferocious defense under Brian Dawkins, held the lead at halftime. But Marshall Faulk's brilliance powered the Rams to their second Super Bowl in 3 seasons.
Marshall Faulk in the backfield, caught, breaks away, and he could go.
Over in the AFC, drama unfolded in Foxborough. The Raiders, armed with Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, Tim Brown, and coach John Gruden, faced the Patriots in a snowstorm. Oakland led by 10 entering the fourth quarter before Tom Brady sparked a comeback. Late in the game, down 3 points late, Tom Brady appeared to fumble after a hit from Charles Woodson, but officials invoked the obscure tuck rule, ruling the play an incomplete pass instead. By the letter of the law, it was the right call, even if it made little sense to fans. Covered game-tying kick. In overtime, Brady went 8 for 8, and Vinatieri sealed it with a... Just like that, the Patriots were on to Pittsburgh.
13 in overtime.
In the AFC Championship, the Patriots were heavy underdogs against the top-seeded Steelers. Brady exited in the second quarter, bringing Drew Bledsoe off the bench in a full-circle moment. He held the lead, and with help from Troy Brown's special teams heroics and Lawyer Malloy's game-sealing interception, New England advanced to the Super Bowl. The Rams, 14-point favorites, were expected to steamroll New England, but the Patriots defense, anchored by Willie McGinnis and Ty Law, forced early mistakes. Law returned to Super Bowl MVP and youngest starting quarterback to ever hoist the Lombardi Trophy. Behind the scenes, the team mourned quarterbacks coach Dick Rabine, who championed Brady's selection before passing away in 2001. After the win, Brady famously said, "My favorite ring is the next one." The league entered a new era in 2002 with the addition of the Houston Texans, bringing the NFL to 32 teams. The Texans selected quarterback David Carr with the #1 overall pick, and the league underwent division realignment and schedule restructuring. New England officially handed the keys to Brady, trading Drew Bledsoe to division rival Buffalo. Brady led the league in touchdown passes, while Bledsoe played well for the Bills. But it was Chad Pennington's breakout season with the Jets that earned them the AFC East crown, capped by Herm Edwards' iconic rallying cry, "You play to win the game."
Play to win the game.
Elsewhere, NFL legends shattered long-standing records. Jerry Rice became the all-time leader in scrimmage yards.
Emmitt Smith has just become the NFL's all-time leading rusher.
And Marvin Harrison set a new receptions mark.
By Meadows and a block by Glenn.
The Colts improved under new head coach Tony Dungy, but flamed out in the playoffs in a 41-0 loss to the Jets. In the next round, the Jets met the Raiders, who had quietly built a juggernaut. Oakland had traded John Gruden to Tampa Bay for a treasure trove of picks and cash. His former offensive coordinator, Bill Callahan, took over and inherited a fully loaded roster. Rich Gannon, protected by an elite O-line, won NFL MVP.
Over the middle, complete touchdown.
Jerry Rice, at age 40, posted another 1,200-yard season. On defense, Rod Charles Woodson led a top 10 unit. The Raiders crushed Tennessee in the AFC title game behind 3 Gannon touchdowns, booking their 5th Super Bowl appearance. Ironically, their opponent would be none other than John Gruden, now coaching the Buccaneers. This Bucs team was peaking at exactly the right time. Tony Dungy's Tampa 2 defense, modeled after the Steel Curtain, was about to take over the NFL. The philosophy? Simple but lethal. Limit big plays with 2 deep safeties and a middle linebacker dropping into coverage on passing downs. Pressing corners, speedy linemen attacking the QB, it was a blueprint built for chaos. And it worked because everyone knew exactly what their job was. No frills, no confusion, just execution. And the players executing it unreal. First-team All-Pro Simeon Rice and Hall of Famer Warren Sapp up front. At linebacker, they had a missile in Derek Brooks. In the secondary, try Rondé Barber and John Lynch, 4 future Hall of Famers on one defense. This was a generational unit, especially when it came to shutting down the pass. Tampa earned the first-round bye and waited for the winner of the 49ers-Giants wild-card showdown. In that game, Jeff Garcia and Terrell Owens engineered a shocking 25-point comeback to keep San Francisco's season alive. But against the Bucs, there was no miracle. Tampa jumped ahead early and never looked back. Next up, the Eagles, back in the NFC Championship after snuffing out Michael Vick and the Falcons. The game was close early, but then Brad Johnson, coming off the best year of his career, connected with Keyshawn Johnson to swing the momentum. Rondé Barber sealed it with a pick-6 that sent Philly packing and Tampa to their first line of scrimmage. After some early field goals, Tampa's bruising fullback Mike Alstott barreled into the end zone, giving the Bucs a 13-3 lead. Then Dwight Smith, a 5 giveaway. Simply subscribe and then comment "I subbed" and you'll be entered into our next video. Now, in 2003, what did Bill Belichick do? He held Colvin and veterans Ted Washington and Rodney Harrison, both former first-team All-Pros. Then came the shocker. The Patriots released team captain Lawyer Malloy just before the season, handing the strong safety job to Harrison. Ty Law and Richard Seymour still anchored the unit, but Harrison brought an edge and leadership that made this group special. And while the offense wasn't overflowing with weapons, Tom Brady continued to rise. He even garnered MVP votes. New England ripped through the schedule, going 14-2. One highlight, 38-34 shootout win over the Colts as the Brady-Peyton Manning rivalry began heating up. Peyton Manning and Steve McNair ended up splitting the MVP that season. Manning's Colts had a defining moment when they came back from 21 points down with under 4 minutes left against the Bucs. Manning threw 3 touchdowns and a blink forcing overtime. Then Mike Vanderjagt's game-winning kick bounced off the uprights and in total madness. As for McNair, despite dealing with injuries and hampered his mobility, he delivered his best season ever, evolving into a dangerous pocket passer and leading the Titans to 12-4. Down in Kansas City, Priest Holmes was rewriting record books. He broke Emmitt Smith's single-season touchdown record, racking up 27 scores. That season also gave us 2 unforgettable games on back-to-back days. First, the Saints fighting for a playoff spot faced off against the already eliminated Jaguars. Afterwards, until kicker John Carney missed the extra point. Season Saints fans devastated. The next night, something even more emotional. Brett Favre's father had passed away just before the Packers Monday Night Football game. Favre decided to play because that's what his father would have wanted. What followed was some of the legends. 4 touchdown passes in the first half, a 41-7 win, one of the most iconic performances in NFL history. In the playoffs, Green Bay faced the Seattle Seahawks. The game went to overtime and Seattle won the toss. Matt Hasselbeck confidently declared, "We want the ball and we're gonna score." And he did, just not the way he meant to. Al Harris picked him off and walked it off with a pick-6. Green Bay's next opponent, the Eagles.
And the Eagles are good. Winners 20-17.
And late in that game, the Packers allowed a 4th and 26 conversion that ended up costing them the win. Philly advanced to its 3rd straight NFC title game under Andy Reid. But the surprise of the year was the Carolina Panthers. Just 2 seasons removed from a 1-15 disaster, head coach John Fox had completely changed the game. First-team All-Pro Chris Jenkins, a one-man wrecking crew. His team had guts. They won 4 overtime road games during the season. That's how they earned their nickname, the Cardiac Cats. In the NFC Championship game, Panthers corner Ricky Manning intercepted Donovan McNabb 3 times.
There's no question that Ricky Manning has a knack for being around the football.
Their first ever Super Bowl. In the AFC, the Titans faced a stout Ravens team featuring Ray Lewis, fresh off another Defensive Player of the Year award, a 2,000-yard rusher in Jamal Lewis. Tennessee held Jamal to just 35 yards and won on a last-minute Gary Anderson field goal. Next up, a trip to frigid Foxborough. But the Titans couldn't pull off the upset, and New England advanced to yet another AFC Championship for a classic Brady-Manning affair. Indy's offense looked immaculate against the Chiefs in the divisional round, setting the stage for Peyton Manning's first ever conference championship appearance. But it didn't go as planned. To open the game, Brady's 4, Ty Law caught advance to Super Bowl 38.
England Patriots on their way to Super Bowl 30.
In just their 9th year as a franchise, the Panthers were gunning for their first Super Bowl win. Meanwhile, the Patriots were in the half. The Panthers nailed a field goal. Halftime score, Patriots 14, Panthers 10. Then came the infamous halftime show. Justin Timberlake yanked on Janet Jackson's costume, causing a wardrobe malfunction that lit the internet on fire. That controversy helped inspire the creation of YouTube just a year later. Fun fact, true story. The third touchdown to tie it all up at 29-29, just like their last three, the ice-cold kicker. From 41 yards out, Vinatieri nailed it. The Patriots win 32-29. It was their second championship in 3 years. Tom Brady was named Super Bowl MVP with 3 touchdowns and over 350 yards passing. New England, once a league bottom feeder, had become the team to beat. In 2004, tragedy struck. Former Cardinals safety Pat Tillman, who had left the NFL to join the Army, was killed in a friendly fire incident in Afghanistan.
Everybody that plays on this football field would like to do that someday. If that happens with me, that's great. If not, I'm just going to work hard at school and other things and try to open as many doors as I can.
Bill Polian and others pushed for officials to strictly enforce the illegal contact penalty, which hadn't been emphasized since 1994. This led to a wave of rule changes that would eventually tilt the league toward pass-heavy offenses. In July, the son of former Pro Bowl quarterback Archie Manning and little brother of Peyton entered the league with enormous expectations. Later in the draft, the Steelers picked Ben Roethlisberger. That pick, a franchise changer. Roethlisberger won Rookie of the Year, and the Steelers went 15-1 behind the league's #1 defense. They were stacked. Linebackers James Ferrier, Joey Porter, and safety Troy Polamalu were a nightmare for opposing defenses. Steelers' dominance was no fluke. They handed the Patriots their first loss in 22 games, ending an NFL record win streak, and turned around and beat the undefeated 7-0 Eagles. New England, still a powerhouse, finished right behind the Steelers at 14-2, despite losing cornerback Ty Law to injury late in the season. In the playoffs, the Eagles cruised past the Vikings. Then in the NFC Championship, they finally cleared the hurdle, shutting down Michael Vick and the Falcons to punch their Super Bowl ticket.
Freedom ring, Philadelphia. The Eagles are going to the Super Bowl.
On the AFC side, the Patriots opened their title defense with a familiar foe, Peyton Manning and the Colts. Manning had just rewritten history, throwing a record-breaking 49 touchdowns that season, beating Dan Marino's mark. It was one of the best QB seasons ever. Didn't matter. In the divisional round, the Colts didn't score a single touchdown. New England's defense came and shut them down again. On the other side of the bracket, the Steelers squeaked past the Jets in overtime to set up an AFC Championship clash with the Patriots.
Number 3 from 33, and the 16-1 Steelers move on.
Well, not even close. Brady came out swinging, launching a 60-yard bomb to Deion Branch in the first quarter. The Patriots rolled past Pittsburgh 41-27.
Super Bowl 39 between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots.
That set up a showdown in Super Bowl 39, Patriots versus Eagles. Philly was chasing its first ever Super Bowl win. New England gunning for 3 rings in 4 years, a feat only the Cowboys had pulled off. The biggest pregame headline? Terrell Owens. Just 7 weeks after breaking his fibula, he defied doctors and suited up. Career risk? Huge, but he played anyway. McNabb opened the game with a strike to Owens, and it looked like Philly was ready to roll. But the Patriots' defense held strong. Rodney Harrison picked off a red zone pass to stall the Eagles' momentum. Still, McNabb eventually found L.J. Smith for the first touchdown. But Adam Vinatieri added a field goal. And with less than 2 minutes left, McNabb hit Greg Lewis for a touchdown to cut the deficit to 3. One last chance. but the Patriots defense slammed the door. Just like that, they won. Final score, Patriots 24, Eagles 21. Deion Branch was named Super Bowl MVP, 11 catches, 133 yards.
Patriots pick it up, and wide open is Branch. Deion Branch is wrestled down at the 44-yard line.
Unreal. All things considered, this was probably the best Patriots team yet. And just like that, Tom Brady, still in his 20s, joined the elite. Montana, Bradshaw, Aikman, 3 rings. Bill Belichick, he joined coaching royalty too, alongside Chuck Noll, Bill Walsh, and Joe Gibbs with 3 Super Bowl wins. Moving into the 2005 season, the Steelers in his final game and Willie Parker's 75-yard touchdown run sealed Pittsburgh's 5th ring. Hines Ward won MVP with 123 receiving yards. That season also saw Hurricane Katrina force the New Orleans Saints to play their entire home schedule on the road. The 2006 season belonged to Peyton Manning. After years of playoff heartbreak, he led the Colts to a 29-17 Super Bowl 41. LaDainian Tomlinson broke the single-season touchdown record with 31, earning NFL MVP. New York Giants pulled off one of the greatest upsets in sports history, beating New England 17-14 in Super Bowl 42. David Tyree's helmet catch and Eli Manning's clutch pass to Plexico Roethlisberger's late-game heroics became his signature. The season also marked the rise of rookie QBs like Matt Ryan and Joe Flacco. The 2009 season, though, had the Saints capping the decade with their first Super Bowl win. To feed who that era was born, the New Orleans victory became a symbol of the city's post-Katrina recovery. Going from the greatest NFL era of all time to this guy who knew every team's plays before the ball was even snapped. And most people are calling him the league's next superstar. We'll see you there.